Hello, Night Nation. Trey Strelko joined by Adam Eaton inside the Star, wrapping up day one of Big 12 Media Days here in Frisco, Texas. And it was a day in which UCF was featured. We spoke with players, Coach Frost. Not much expected of the Knights, and they know it, Adam.
And they're okay with it, Trace. I think to the players we talked to, Coach Frost even today, they know a lot of folks are not expecting much of UCF. And you know what? They're okay with that. You know why? Chip on the shoulder, and they plan to use that as fuel. They plan to use that as a rallying cry to get this team to where it needs to be. Scott Frost loves the talent he has in this team. Can he get everyone to buy in? Can he get everyone to follow that chip on the shoulder mentality? I think that will be the key to the Knights this season.
No preseason media poll. That came out a couple of days beforehand that there wouldn't be one. A year ago, Arizona State projected last. You know the season they had one season ago. No doubt, though, if there had been a poll, I think we would have found UCF towards the bottom, if not last, in projections. No such poll exists, though.
And I think that's fair. I mean, Scott Frost talked about, listen, there's a lot of talent on this team, but there hasn't been a lot of production. We don't know what these guys are. He feels really good about what they can do, their potential, but we haven't seen production on the field, nor has anybody else. So I think it's fair to look at this team right now and wonder, what are the question marks? What is this team going to be about? And I think the players know that. I think they're up for that challenge.
Let's hear some sound from the Knights.
No, and I think Arizona State proved last year the rankings mean zero. It means absolutely nothing, right? So, I mean, you don't really pay attention to those. Those really don't have any effect on me or my teammates. We're not really paying attention to that, right? So, yeah, like I said, the team who was voted to be at the bottom last year won everything. So, those things mean zero. Kind of just want to prove everyone wrong, man. I kind of just want to go out there and show what I've been holding in for so long. You know what I mean? I finally worked for it.
What do you need to show them?
How good I am. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just can't wait, man. I really just can't wait to get out there and play, man. I'm finally, in a role that I've been working for, a role that I wanted. And I'm ready for everything that comes with it.
UCF's not picked in the top half of the conference, right? A lot of folks think UCF's in the bottom half.
We love that.
The first team, Big 12 team came out yesterday. Nobody from UCF's listed. Do you all use that as motivation? Is that like a chip on your shoulder?
We love that. We thought about that. UCF is built on do more with less. And then I'm no stranger to being an underdog. We got a group of guys that are no strangers to not having some of the things other individuals in this conference have. So walking into a season like this, completely new changing culture, and then having these low expectations, I feel like we all walking in with just a chip on our shoulder. Them underdogs ready to get. They hungry.
I think we're talented. And I think in this new era, it's not as much recruiting as it is interviewing and trying to pick the right guys, and interviewing and negotiating, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I'm proud. We had the highest football team GPA in the history of UCF last semester, and I think that speaks to not the talent we brought in, but the character of kids that we brought in. It's a fun group to work with, and I'm just every day I wake up in Orlando excited to get into work and see those guys.
So Scott Frost back in the, now Big 12. He's familiar with this league, and he's been away from coaching for a little while. The league has changed. What is he coming into? That's a big question this season.
And luckily, we had a few different coaches that UCF will play this year at our advantage today. We had a chance to talk to those folks. And you know what they all said? Scott Frost knows how to coach. And yeah, the league is different, but I think a lot of them are bullish on what Scott Frost can do for this Knights team. And candidly, even someone like a Scott Satterfield, someone who's a rival of UCF Cincinnati, thinks it's a really good hire for the Knights.
Just talking with Scott Frost about being back in the Big 12, what's one piece of advice that you'd give him about today's Big 12?
Oh, he already knows ball. I mean, you can see it on film. I think a lot of people will say just be ready for the physical play, but Scott understands that. He knows that. I mean, look, you see how big he is and his style of play. That guy is an amazing quarterback and was really physical. So he understands the game better than a lot of people think.
Coach, UCF brings back Scott Frost.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you make of that move? And B, what kind of learning curve do you think he's up against as he reacclimates to the Big 12?
Now, I remember Coach Frost as the offensive coordinator at Oregon, and he steps on a Cedar Hill practice field recruiting Damian Hobbs in 2012. I'm a huge fan of him. I was a huge fan of him as a player. Absolutely, ultimate tough guy and team guy, and had so much success at UCF. I see them walking around, and he's got some dudes. They got some great length and some really, really good-looking football players. I have a feeling that he has a good feel for that area of the country and how he'll recruit. And I think sometimes, too, whenever you step away, you get a different look. You also get a different hunger. I imagine he's got a chip on his shoulder to prove that he's still a really good coach and can coach at a high level.
Now that we're on Back to the Future, Scott Frost also coming back to the conference. What do you think about him coming back to UCF?
Yeah, I think that's cool for him to be able to get another opportunity to get back into where he had a tremendous amount of success there at UCF. Obviously a really good coach, does things the right way. I think it's a good fit there at Central Florida. So I think, man, there's a lot of talent right around Orlando. So you'll be able to recruit at a high level, be able to get players in there. But it'll be fun competing against him, because that's one of our, I think, top rivals in the Big 12 that we get to compete against each and every time. And it's fun. It's fun to compete against those guys. And so this year will be the same. They get to come back to Cincinnati this year. So we're looking forward to that competition.
Trace, I think Kalani Sitake said it best. Scott Frost knows how to coach, but there's a lot of challenges he has to face this year. How will that hold up? Again, only time will tell, but at least it's interesting to understand that his fellow coaches have a lot of respect for Coach Frost.
We'll be back for day 2. The second half of the league presents on Wednesday, and we will have complete coverage. For Adam Eaton, I'm Trace Strelko. Go Knights!
Charge on.